Long live the habitual line steppers. This is Kev, and this is BMBBH on another Saturday night. Let me give a shout out to the members of this channel. The members of the channel are people who decided to pay a very small yet fee that I am grateful for to call themselves real by association. And believe me, that's going to be the culture around here from now on. The realest, not the fakes, not the wannabes, and definitely not all that stuff I'm going to mention tomorrow night on the smoke show. Uh, I'm so tempted, but that's going to wait till tomorrow night. We're going to stay vigilant and focus on this week in fuckery. Boy, how are y'all doing? Did y'all, anybody watching right now in real time or in the replay gang, shout out to you guys. you know to you I will always and forever be grateful. Did you have a good week this week? Did you get something that you wanted? Did you find some happiness? Yeah, this week was sort of a busy little week for me. When you find yourself on the end of learning something very intricate, then it's like, as you get older, you be like, oh God, a challenge. Oh, here we go with that. I mean, but one thing I learned when I was very, very young, and that still applies today, is that learning never stops. And that right there includes me. So I'll try to get some little emojis for the members. Thanks for being around, and shout you guys out. D Scott, Greg, Aaron Peters, Phil Brad, Zentober, Dale Toya, Indigo Flow, Gold Professor _Gold Star P _GP salute emoji exclamation point. D Rock Den, and last but certainly not least, American Negro. Thank you guys from month to month. And for $2.99, that's $2.99. If you're watching, you could become a member as well. Thank you guys once again. Mm, mm. So let me shout out the chat real quick. We got RPM, Pastor. What's good? At least he was here earlier. Zentober, member for 2 months. I'm listening. Tell Toya is also a member, and Phil Brad, who is also a member. Good shit, good shit. So let's talk about this week in fuckery, because it's since it's 2023. Each week in this year has had its own little things about it, and that will keep the idea of this show going. I mean, this something that I didn't really intend for it to happen. I mean, fuckery is something that we are often told as black man content creators that we shouldn't waste our time on. Pastors in the building. We shouldn't waste our time on fuckery. It's about time we're a little boring and start getting some things done. You know, for some reason, it's a bad thing for you guys to be entertained by other stupidity, others' drama, others' crazy little moves, other people doing shit that you wouldn't do in a million fucking years. like this. Yeah. Okay, I'm a little loaded up today. Damn, I don't think I put Kaepernick in the show, but I was gonna talk about Kaepernick and how Colin Kaepernick, I got another guy with unique hair. Um, he just keeps trying and trying, but his shelf life is probably about over. And you hate to see it happen, at least for some of us, because um, he was fighting a cause that most of us don't. Kind of feel like some of us are supposed to, but um, you know, Kaepernick is a cautionary tale. It's a way for you to disassociate yourself from being black. I don't want people like Colin Kaepernick to be blacker than me, and I don't. I don't want this shit representing me either. You know, you keep it as close to yourself as possible because their image they are presenting for you out there will never be correct. I mean, it might be correct to some of y'all. Maybe some of you do like to rock your hair like this, and this is not the first time we've seen something like this. Andre 3000 has done it with a straight look on his face. But I don't know, for someone of Jimmy Butler's stature and such, it just, I don't know. Maybe it's that weird shit, that weird Hollywood shit that we always mention around here on that side of a green. There's a different set of rules if you for some reason have a multiple amount of millions in your bank account. But I gotta say, these people in 2023 are very different now. I remember I posted a meme a few weeks ago. Oh, some new shout outs. I'll get back to the meme in a second. We got hyper catastrophic impact X83rd power, and we have APTV. What's good, brother? Zentober. I'm not gonna try to Corey X Kenshin in his old days was rocking this. Oh, okay. Yeah. Snoop Dogg has rocked some funny stuff, like long straight hair. I mean, and I know we're not other races, but other races pretty much do this too. But as always, I understand why feel like this kind of shit is weird. I'm just old school with it, kind of. I find this to be very, very humorous. I mean, look, it's like he's a part of a video game and he's about to fight some demons. But never know. He could be fighting some demons in real life, inside his chest, inside his soul. Like I said, they different around here. People, I don't know. This might be the return of androgyny. Like we had some shit go on like that in the '80s, where we just be laughing at the shit because these dudes are like they're wearing all their hair over their fucking eyes, but they got like the baddest bitches in the club. Like Charlie Murphy wasn't kidding about that. I mean, I was a little boy in those times, but I mean, shit. I mean, I could recognize some of the shit that was going on. Women think this guy with this very colorful suit jacket with his sleeves rolled up and, you know, like I said, the comb over is a very cool guy. So all this shit, like everything repeats itself. The afro. We were laughing at afros in the 80s. Some part of the 90s too. Then people started wearing afros again out of nowhere. Before then, it was like the 70s. This is just this 80s androgyny shit coming back. I mean, I don't know what he's doing behind closed doors. Nor do I care. But I'm just saying, we ought to care about the image that's being presented for the black man. I know y'all got all this rugged hyper individualism coming out, and you beat your chest and call yourself a man. But this stuff is okay to talk about. I see Weather down there. Weather, you make sure you're here tomorrow night. I want to make sure everybody watching now, the real ones that are in the chat right now, and the one that may be watching in the cloud, you make sure you're here tomorrow night. I'll try to get started at 11. Sometimes I be on CPT, so I definitely would be in the building by 11:15 for tomorrow night's smoke show. But whether you be here, if you can, if you can, brother, I realize that people have lives and other stuff to do, but if y'all can, please, you know, and I'm not, I'm not looking for a veil of protection, like some people would try to say. I'm just looking for all of y'all brutal honesty. Bring your brutally honest best. You too, Pastor. You do the same thing, sir. I'm thinking of some real evil shit. But, you know, I mean, I know you guys are gonna do that already. Shoot. But yeah, I see APTV saying I knew he had some sugar in his tank. I mean, shit. Look at Dwight Howard. You know, Dwight Howard grabbing nuts in during the game and shit. I mean, who knows? I don't have any evidence. We just kind of see things. Could have been an accident. This man was just he was just being scrutinized for I guess he was trying to get his son to, I guess, develop some heart. Son was crying on the exercise, but I can't do it no more. And Dwight Howard was like, "No, you need to push yourself." And people on the internet have a problem with it. Like people always on the internet have a problem with something. Weather said all these Gen Z, all these Gen Z and millennial black men want to be Bisquat. Oh man, D Rock Den, another member of the channel. What's good? Man, it says Zentober. The real men wouldn't feel weird wearing women's clothes. Yeah, they're living their truth, man. They are living their truth. What problem do you have? Let that man be happy. I mean, like, I wouldn't think that I was impeding on his happiness by saying that, hey, you know what? You wouldn't catch me with a hairstyle like that. Yeah, it's just like it's some words that, I just know to say, but there are other words that I'm afraid to pronounce, and the flamboyance of Bisquat, shit. I know I fucked that up. So, I'm not claiming to be a scholar. Ain't no motherfucking way. I've been right. How you as a woman can tell me what a real man would do. See, Harvard says in Tober, every time a woman begins a sentence with a real man would. I just, yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. It's like, it's in some ways that women do matter to us, but like, that's not one of them at all. Yeah, I know. I just don't know how to pronounce the word weather. You see it in how they dress, their interests, who they pal around with, their hair. Okay. Yeah, someone's gonna say I'm uncultured. Not necessarily you. A bunch of betas and zetas. The Z is for zesty. So so APTV says now it is what it looks like. It is what it looks like, Kev. Yeah. And he's got comparisons to this man right here. It appeared a lot on Facebook. I saw it in a couple of YouTube community tabs. But the young man on the right is Jermaine Stewart. He was a R&B kind of popish singer. You know, like that's how they used to do it back in the 80s. Yeah, like this really androgyny, but this is not androgyny right here. This is past androgyny. Um, he had this song. Jermaine Stewart had this song back in the day, and I remember. I think I was in fifth grade when it came out. The song "We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off to Have a Good Time." You know, I'm not gonna sing it. Look it up. Like, look up Jermaine Stewart. We don't have to take our clothes off. We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. We don't have to take our clothes off to drink some cherry wine. Now, you can decide what kind of song that is at this point. You know, do you believe that that's a simp song? But see, the level of androgyny would suggest that, you know, he probably wasn't interested in. No, he probably was more interested in somebody that looked like him, or or had the same parts as he did. You know, that's why it's so easy for him to tell women, you know, that they don't have to take their clothes off to have a good time. You know, they go to the club and shoot the shit and you know just talk about penises and shit. You know, like it, he likely from even from what I can tell back then from this guy's mannerisms, you know, kind of I would say what we used to call, this is just reference material for education. We used to call that kind of guy a sissy. Okay, so I don't want anybody to be touched by that. You know, um, he he's dead. He died due to complications with HIV, I believe. Yeah, you don't have to take your clothes off. Yeah, I think the song lyrics was "We don't have to take our clothes off to have." I mean, I'm just saying it. I'll probably even provide the link, in the description after the broadcast. More sampled. Mace sampled that record on his Welcome Back album. Okay. Whether I see black men all the time, I see black men like this all the time, and guess who co-signs them? Not black women, but liberal white women. Royce White was right when he said they love weak, feminine black men who they can control. I mean, have you taken a look at who's in your government? Some black women there too, man. Shit. But I'm not gonna defend liberal white women. Yeah, they own some real weird shit. They are really weird. Just with the blue hair and the diet energy sodas and shit. It's ridiculous. hybrid. I understand what you're saying, bruh, but try to be careful with that. Both races have their issues. That is definitely correct. Like, well, he actually revised this song. Okay. Jimmy Butler probably goes to a lot of fashion shows and arts museums and probably hasn't hung with another black person in a while. Brothers wouldn't let him rock like this. Now, I mean, but you have to understand that's a culture that is different. Like, I remember watching not video games. I remember watching basketball games like 10 years ago, and these dudes are modeling clothes during the game. They're showing pictures of Russell Westbrook wearing skinny jeans and cut off t-shirts and shit, like modeling the shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm trying to watch a basketball game. And then the people sitting, and then I was like, oh, well, that's Russell Westbrook. I was like, the guy playing? The fuck? Shit. Like I said, man, it just something we ignore what they're doing to the black man's image. Something that they've always tried to do. See, we had the mentality back then to flush shit like this out. Cartel was good, you got more of this acceptance culture going around, especially like, in our whatever you want to call it. Y'all don't want to call it community. We'll say it's among our race. We don't want to say race until we want to say some negative shit like Weather's doing down there. But I ride with Weather, just like I ride with Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power. Yeah, I'm being petty as fuck right now. But Weather says Candace Owens is pregnant and still cutting off heads. I'm officially a fan of her now. Okay, awesome. Weather has declared himself a fan of Candace Owens. I mean, I know, man. She one of them say what she want people. How much they really pay you, Jimmy? I mean, during the greatest society, dude, when I said, you know, the internet is undefeated. Remember, when you say something and do something that is very public, there's this thing called the internet. The internet will destroy you, like from all angles. And this has happened to some very influential people, including professional athletes. I mean, ask Michael Jordan. The crying Jordan meme craze of 2014, 2015. Oh man, it was the funniest meme to me. It was the funniest fucking meme like of that time. And like when I finally learned how to make memes and shit, I use that crying Jordan thing quite a bit. And it's still prevalent to this day. I mean, when you look at Jim, I mean, you know how they say you can't you can hear a picture, or they say you can't hear a picture, and then you show them a picture like this. What do you hear? All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. That's what I hear when I look at this picture. Ladies, yeah. The black people ain't co-signing this behavior. No, not here, not us. But go to people who are kind of still asleep, and yeah, they will sit up there and just like I was saying earlier, the living your truth people. They're living their truth. Give me some sugar. I am your neighbor. Might as well do a new Soul Glow commercial. This ain't a Jerry curl. I mean, but I see what you mean. Shit, Jerry curls were very big back in the 80s. I
I mean, they were really popular and everybody wanted one. Then then what happened was uh, comedians, black man comedians, all that Jerry curl juice. Like the Jerry curl, like went out of style as fast as MC Hammer did. Once a comedian got a hold of that shit, that was it. And when they got a hold of the Jerry curl, it is everybody started roasting and flaming folks with Jerry curls. Shit, you know who else used to get flamed? Hair weaves. Back then, even as far back as the 80s. Yes, hair weaves were getting flamed by both black men and black women. A black woman would have never defended a hair weave back in the 80s. Never. She was roasting that shit just like the dudes were. Probably worst. This is how much times have changed. Oh, I see narratives and dialogue down there. What's good, Coffee Nino? Says Andre 3000 was different, but I don't think they were crossing over the beat. No, they weren't. They weren't. Uh, Andre 3000 was just looking for individuality. That's what it is. That was Andre 3000, and he's one of the, for me, he's one of the best to do it as far as being a rapper. If you think about Tupac and Biggie, like, no, I mean, I'll probably rather listen to Andre 3000 than both of those guys any day. But not that I would listen to some Tupac or some Biggie. I would say what's Weather talking about? Oh yeah, Dennis Rodman. Yeah, Dennis Rodman was on some shit back then. Yeah, for real. Like wearing her wedding dress. I mean, doing all kinds of drugs. Probably sleeping with same sex partners and shit. The same shit that goes on in that weird world today. Sniffing cocaine on body parts. And like, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Like when Dennis Rodman wasn't doing that, he was a married man. I think he was married to a white woman. Like a lot of them pro athletes, like that's just always existed. So people still acting surprised to this day that there are pro athletes that marry white women is beyond me. We got the dick police and these days. Yeah. I still kind of check out the amazing Lucas. The motherfucker was like he wasn't so much trying to dick police Terrell Owens, but he threw out a couple of dick police statements. And the reason why I say the words dick police because yes, it is as bad as it sounds. The mentality to worry about someone else's penis. Oh God. I mean, but anyway, let's move on. All right. The- If if that explains a lot was a photo. I've never said much about Malika Andrews in the past. I don't believe I've ever said anything about her at all, actually. I mean, if you guys remember me ever saying anything about Malika Andrews, um, just kind of remind me. But I don't too much fuck with ESPN anyway. Besides being somewhat amused by Stephen A. Smith and you know appearances by people such as LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball, like, is one of my favorite people. He is just completely fucking entertaining. I mean, a lot of people shot down LeVar Ball, but it's like here he goes. This is what I was like about LeVar Ball. Here he goes. That's a black father, an involved father. He's there for his sons. He's trying to create a basketball dynasty. I mean, he's trying, and he's quite entertaining. Well, that kind of thing is being replaced with women like this. I mean, very forward, I would say, very forward about her feelings on black man athletes. We always say like, how they forgive like white people for doing shit that's very strange and egregious. Like Charlie Sheen. The same thing goes for always bringing up a black man shit. And I'm not saying that some of these guys shouldn't be held accountable, but if he's repaid his debt to society, leave that shit alone. Be even tilled. It's the same shit Stephen A. Smith uh, used to do, like be much harsher on the black athlete than the black man athlete than any of the white male athletes, and he's been called out a few times about that. Malika Andrews is a female Stephen A. Smith. You know, I'm not trying to say that this is a swirl situation right here because from I understand one of her parents is white. I believe it's a mother. But getting sassy with black men publicly, but then like black men never return the energy because we're scared. I mean, we'll try to debate, but when women become too pushy, we leave that shit alone because we're afraid of being labeled. You hate women. They pulled that shit on LeVar Ball, a white woman did. Do you hate women? And people like Malika Andrews are well aware of her advantages. She's well aware of that shit. So congratulations to the happy couple. Thank you, guy. Whatever his name is. I think he works with her. She will not be a black man's problem. But like I said, if that explains a lot, was an image. Shoot, Jimmy Butler. Prince was the only one that could get away with that style. Oh, that androgynous style, like we were just explaining with Jimmy Butler, that they're trying to bring back. Somebody said Lil Uzi Vert in the chat earlier. Yeah, Lil Uzi Vert. Yeah, he be pulling some shit. Like but see what y'all saying in the said more like Kimmy Butler. Come on, guy. Yeah, I'm a Biggie dude, but I grew up like the Tupac when I moved out to the West Coast. West Coast is a whole vibe at black men being brutally honest. Coffee Nino. Yeah. He didn't like white women in Detroit. So very different in Detroit. More NBA athletes are married to black women. Yeah, but they always like to show the ones with the white, the white ones like Patrick Patterson. And most of the time, like when black men who have white wives get exposed, it's because the black side of the internet is dick policing. Like Patrick Patterson, some dude was talking about his white wife, and he Patrick Patterson was like, just because y'all marry women that look like bulldogs, and it turned into he called a black woman a bulldog. So anyway, is that Eminem? Brother says she's a horrible person and she hates men. No, I think it's just black men. I think it's just black men. I think she likes men just fine. I, I think that I think that she's getting in on the whole black man hate trend. You know, I'm not trying to victimize black men in any way. I want black men to be able to, tell motherfuckers to kiss their ass for this shit with unapologetically. And nobody seems to get this shit. And every time there are black men that do that thing, they are accused of hating women. They're accused of hating ourselves because I say that shit to some people too. I'm gonna say it a lot tomorrow night, but just it is what it is. I'm very content with being a black man in today's social climate. This is the prime example of a man hater. I think she likes men just fine. I think she hates black men. LeVar Ball should be respected as a great father. Exactly, hybrid. Exactly. People like Malika Andrews would try to get him would try to destroy his reputation. She'll get close to him on purpose and then accuse him of something. Stephen A. checked her. Yeah, Stephen A. checked her in front of everybody, but he did it with a little bit of professionalism, but that did not slow her down at all. Okay, and somehow Erica Badu came into the conversation. But I'll go back. Oh, Andre 3000. Malika Andrews hates all men, Kev. She just horrible all around. And it was great to see men unite in their roasting of her last year. Yeah, yeah, I mean, like her kind do. Mm, like she'll do that for the approval of other men, like of other races. But you're saying all men, so I'm just thinking it's just black men. She's I've only seen her go at black men. I've never seen her go at a white man or any man of any other race. But hey, she has had her problems with men of other races. I'm about to show you that in a minute. So RPM comment. Also, she had Andre, the DLC, and Jay Electronica for their baby daddies. Yeah, DLC would have been one of the most fire rappers in the history of the hip hop rap game if he had not have gotten that accident because that album, The Formula, is fire. I don't give a fuck about none of these young dudes and what they have to say about our era of hip hop. Like seriously, I don't give a shit. But our era of hip hop was just that. It will never be another like it. I think it's pretty much. I think hip hop is like it's probably not even hip hop anymore. It's something else, and they're just calling it rap and hip hop. All right. Stephen A. and Richard Jefferson both checked her. Yeah, yeah, but that didn't slow her down. Yeah. Okay. So this guy right here. So this is who they're claiming is harassing Molly Karam and Malika Andrews. Say he's a stalker. His name is, and I'm gonna fuck this name up. Ahmed Abubakar is a New Jersey doctor who wished ESPN's host organs destroyed. I gotta say that I've heard worse. Like if this is the measuring stick, and I'm not saying shit like this is okay, weird, as a matter of fact. It's weirdo shit. But if I were to say, like, okay, if everything that people said on the internet, which, I don't have the context of the whole story. Were they friends with him? Was he hanging out with him? Was he leaving, notes on their cars? I mean, or is this just some internet shit? Because if it is, I mean, like, just I don't see how stalkers get access to celebrities. We can't even get access to celebrities. You can't even say hi to a motherfucker half the time. But like, that's I'm wondering, is it's just some. I mean, it's not cool to be a doctor and want somebody's organs destroyed, because what if that motherfucker is a surgeon who directly works with people's organs? Yeah, but I was gonna kind of tell this, story as in a context, before I showed y'all this picture. If I'd have remembered, because I thought about it, I was like, I want to see if people are gonna assume that if the stalker is a black man. But I mean, there's enough evidence, for me not to have to establish that. Yeah, creepy fucking dude. Little zesty vert. I give Stephen A. a hard time. Pause. But I gotta give him credit for checking Malika Andrews. Stephen A. Smith be on some fuck shit, man. Like, seriously. I mean, like I said, especially like with giving black athletes a much harder time more than any other group. Because I mean, every time a black man athlete got in trouble or lost his job, or failed a drug test because of weed, he was roasting him. He was jabbing him. He was talking about him. He was, talking all kinds of shit. I mean, he would just absolutely just talk about them like they were just the biggest, dumbest, stupidest motherfuckers ever. But not one peep about Brittany Griner. If I'm wrong, you can correct me in the chat. I'm not too proud to take correction or criticism. I mean, but the audience, they say what they want to say. You should have said, "Yeah, that what you wanted to hear would have made her look stupid." Uh, you talk about when that Becky was saying that LeVar Ball, does he hate women or has a problem with women? Yeah, I'd probably say yeah too. Fuck all that. It's like you can't win in situations like that. But I mean, if this dude is doing this shit, is fucked up. Not the dude on the screen. So I mean, but you can't win in situations like that. You always get accused of some, or some type of sidebar or some straw man argument, that hits the conversation. And, black men, if you are on topic to a certain conversation where someone is trying to convince you otherwise, don't fall for the straw man. Stay on point. Now, let's continue. Sexy Red. I mean, shit. She's staying in the spotlight. She just like, oh, what's her name, Brittany Renner. She's staying relevant. Cause like, if if her buzz doesn't keep up, then all that pound town shit, that shit's gonna go to the side. That's gonna she she gonna join the host of all these other females that tried to do it. I mean, she might have broken through. I mean, definitely with this. Now, the feedback that I got on Facebook about this, a few of my Facebook friends posted about this. Um, they are like their review, their rough review of this sex tape leak is that this girl ain't as big a freak as she portrays herself to be. That's what they said. I haven't watched this sex tape or don't have an interest in watching it. There are some things in my life that I can do without, I'm afraid. I mean, has anybody that's in the chat right now seen the sex tape? You can say yes, you can say no. You can say thank God, or you can say I hope I see it soon. Check out some of these comments while I'm waiting on at least one answer. Brother said Joy Taylor needs to get checked. I loved Joy when she first hit the scene, but she's so bitter and miserable now. She's still beautiful, but clearly unhappy in her life. Mm, yeah. Uh, phew. Yeah, it is. I mean, you can check a woman. I don't give a fuck what none of these niggas say. You can check them. You don't have to be violent. You can just be straightforward in your words in your speech and the point you're trying to make. There's nothing wrong with that. All these dudes saying there's something wrong with that, something wrong with your ass. Shit. You're not a man. You're picking on women. Hey, get the fuck out of here with that. Yeah, hybrid. Joy changed after George Floyd died. She got super woke and bitter. Oh, man. SLN Fitness. What's going on? Says facts. Yes, that is what happened to Jelani Day, the dude who was a healthy black man who was killed and bone marrow taken from him. Also, his teeth sawed out his mouth. Wow, that sounds like the handiwork of a really sick individual or individuals. Oh yeah, referring to this guy right here. Yeah, that's a phenomenon that I used to hear about every now and again. People would turn up, dead with their organs missing. Even though the stalker isn't black, they'll still find a way to blame black men. Yeah, they probably say he's listening to the black manosphere. And he got some weird idea from one of us, which no one could ever will find the timestamp to support such a claim. But that's one of the things that would happen. Nah, I'm just whatever. But yeah, or they'll say some shit like, "We weren't around to protect her as black men. We should have been protecting her." And then like I'm gonna say some shit like, "But her mama white though." Yeah, get one of them niggas. Nah. And Kendrick Perkins checked Molly. All these female moderators are getting checked. Hmm, all right. Well, that's good because I did say earlier that I don't watch ESPN, and you know I don't fuck with them too tough. But it's cool. Oh, but why are we looking at this picture? Cartel said troll STD red, calling herself the raw dog queen. Like I like to it pisses a lot of black women off when I ask them questions such as, "Do you want this representing you?" It pisses them off. It pisses them off because if I refer to her like it's a good thing, that it makes it a good thing for them too, and it gives black women a chance in the court of public opinion. I'm just saying, it's like, why don't y'all be more like the black women of the '80s and will denounce some shit that a woman would do. I mean, this was just, these were the times where the color purple first came out. I mean, but I mean, still, you had a generation of people who weren't. It wasn't some type of gender divide. Really big feminist revolution really took its root in effect onto the younger ones. I mean, 80s television made it that more widespread, and I mean, but still, is like a woman knew how to check a woman back then. And this shit right here would have never flew, like ever. This image right here, men wouldn't even men didn't even have to say anything. She had older women walking up to her, "Baby, is you all right? Are you on them drugs?" Like seriously, Art New Stall, what's going on? Going on with all them tattoos? You worship the devil? I mean, shit. The way they talk about these Hollywoods and this occultist crap, she probably does. Man, I bet this girl was naturally nice looking before she tattooed all her body and making all that vulgar music. Now she looked like Anthony Brian Logan. She see that she's from my city. Oh, okay. I mean, whether I mean you got black woman's back, man. Shit, there you go. There you go. I'm still waiting to see Britney's sex tape. Talking about Brittany Renner. Sukiana did hers on OnlyFans. You know, it yacked on that man. Ugh. It's like shit, anything for money. But they said that video made a that OnlyFans video made her a lot of money. She said she got her rent paid for like the fall. Cartel. I would not claim her being from my city if she was. She's a disgrace. Man said Weather said big no. He's not looking for this sex tape. RPM has seen it. It was mega trash. If you have, that man said if you've seen this sex tape and like it, you please leave the black manosphere. APD APTV said I didn't see it. Hyper catastrophic yuck. You couldn't pay me to look at that crap. Not even $1 million. I think I'd take $1 million to watch it. I mean, that would be for my pain and suffering. She's an embarrassment for my city, Kev. Okay, well, I mean, isn't she like a gang member? Like she's a blood. That's why they call her Sexy Red or some shit like that. I'm not too. I'm not too fond of gang members. I mean, there's the Pookie types. I mean, which Pookies I'd rather deal with than gang members and simps. Gang members especially. They gang members for me are the biggest self haters. The biggest, the biggest. It seems like any black person that hasn't adopted the niggatry that a gang member has is just they become a target. And there's nothing more traitorous to a race than that. To destroy your own kind. Come on now, fuck you. Man say her pussy isn't pink either. You said the color of her pussy is booty hole brown. Ugh. And I mean, the sad part about it is you got kids looking up to her. And then, you're going to have a little punk ass argument. Oh, man, what about what y'all used to listen to when we were kids? You know what? Our parents had sense enough to say, y'all need, I only let that shit played in my house. You better play it quiet. You better play it to where I can't hear it. Because that was the parents signaling to you that the activity that they are discussing in those songs are not okay. Now people just all kinds of okay with listening to thought rappers. Shit. I mean, the male rappers still get the bad rap. But if you say anything about the thought rappers, you're sexist. You're a sexist. You hate women. You're an incel. I was like, what? Come on, man. Come on now. I don't have to like everything. That man said, next picture, please, before we catch her feet. Okay. What's good, Raven Knight? All right. Let's get on to something lighter. Like this like I said, this newer generation. Is she overreacting? WNBA player Lexi Brown shares her frustration with how NBA 2K24 has her looking in the game. It's a fucking video game. It's like, look, she's gonna get a little cut of that because her image is being used in the game. And when did they start using WNBA players? Which is cool because, they get a portion of the of whatever the game makes because their image and likeness is being used. And I'm not saying that portion is going to break the bank. It's probably going to last about a good 2 3 months, but it means a way for them to make money. So why is she complaining about how she looks in a video game? What is it, too dark? She said, "I know I'm cuter than that." I mean, you're I mean, shit. It's not like you're an NBA player where they have to really pay attention to the detail and they will catch flack if they mess up how they look. I mean, shit. You're this young lady is an obscure WNBA player. I mean, I know that's mean to say, and then the people will actually put up the argument saying pay them what they're worth. And then I'm just saying, like, I will always tell them, the people, is like you're arguing for them to get paid more. But if you're really gonna focus on what they're worth, they will get paid less because the people don't understand. It's like people care about how many butts you're putting in seats. That drives up the numbers. Merchandise sales, shit like that. So you can't shame motherfuckers into buying WNBA jerseys and going to WNBA games. And I mean, still the biggest supporters of that are men. You know who the biggest supporters of the NBA are? Men and women. Hmm. But well, I know what you're thinking. What does that have to do with how she feel about how she look in the video game? It's a non-issue. She's gonna get paid for that. What you think she is? You think she too dog? She got to be from North St. Louis. Oh, y'all still talking about Sexy Red? I wouldn't have signed Sexy Red nor Scarlett to a record label. Scarlett is a bit more personable, I would say. She has that rugged image, but that's a selling point for her. That's that baby mama queen high bitch Kev. Of course they support her. Yeah, Scarlett look like Fing Fang man. There's a Scarlett. I mean, y'all be the judge. Let me show y'all this real quick. Hold on 1 second.
New York. What the fuck I look like to a nigga good morning? Fuck I look like being sweet, charming, and get the fuck out of New York. You ain't welcome anymore. Get the
Okay, yeah, that's Scarlett. That's not her voice, obviously, but that's Scarlett. They did her wrong, Kev. Oh, you talking about old girl, Lexi Brown? They did her wrong. So like hairline and everything. So what? You think they got a like a anti lace front policy as far as video game graphics? Oh, let me stop before they say I'm talking about hair. I mean, you can think that if you want to. She a little young for me to just outright say what she is. She's not ugly. I'll say that. The man said B Dubs hate video games. Eh, I mean, my wife, she'll play video games as long as it's Mario. I mean, we got a Nintendo Switch. She played the fuck out that Mario, and this she downloaded a game called Overcooked. She plays the shit out of that too. No, but she don't do none of like the Mortal Kombat stuff like I do. Yeah, so some of you are complimenting this young lady on the screen, but see, the thing is, her friends are probably roasting her because how she look in the game. And it's probably a big thing for them to appear in the game too. I haven't heard of I haven't heard of them putting WNBA players in video games yet. I mean, maybe I'm behind on the times. Like, maybe some of y'all will say something like, "Man, they've been doing that. Where you been, Kia?" I mean, hell, I'm sorry. Maybe I was thinking about something else at the time. I mean, but you know, I mean, I've seen all kinds of people being depicted in video games that be looking kind of fucked up. Just roll with it. At least you got in. I mean, I'm just gonna have to say, man, real. I'm just gonna have to say it real cool, man. She gonna have to get over this shit. She is. Sorry. I mean, I understand that. Women are very self conscious about their looks. They call themselves having to compete with this standard of beauty, which is ridiculous. But what do I know? I'm a man. There's shit. But anyway, I think she should probably just chill out and just be happy that she has you know enough to appear enough of a public image to appear in something like a video game. So anyway, let's move on. All right. All right. This is the part of the show where I start to pay everybody back for all that dick police. But hey, just so just wanted to show y'all something, and I don't quite agree with Lucas's take, but I plan to talk about this anyway. About Terrell Owens saying that his experiences with white women are different than his experiences with black women. And it seems is like if you are a black man, if you date a white woman, it stays stuck to you. It's a it's, it's something that that black folks especially will expect from you in a very negative way. I don't care how many black women you dated. If you dated a white woman, it puts some type of mark on you. I really hate to say it that way, but when I see public figures that have dated white women, um, it seems like it never goes away. It never does because they hold that over the head of black men like, they committed a crime or they're siphoning generational wealth out of you know, out of the black community into white hands, which I don't see how that is even possible. But what do you what? But when people say stuff like that, I often ask those people, it's like, what are your plans for their money? Since you know so goddamn much. But Terrell Owens, basically said that, he developed a complex. Oh God, no pun intended. Yeah, he developed a mentality because he was teased so viciously growing up by black girls for being dark skinned and skinny. Which, back when he was a child, you're only like 15 to 20 years removed from all of that shit. So that mentality still pretty much existed, you know, because, like we were in the processes of assimilating into American culture with everyone else. This is not something that is recent. This was, and you got people in this space that's gonna pull up the journals and the numbers to prove it. But if you count life experience, we were kind of assimilating, and it seemed like the things that made blacks culturally cool or culturally unique, we were phasing out. And blackness is something that the society has always tried to chip at. I mean, it is reaching a peak in present day, and I can see it out of a lot of you niggas trying to disassociate yourselves. And it might be some because of some inner issue you have with yourself. It might be because of your views and beliefs. It could be any fucking reason. Any reason. But in the dating world, people often take their trauma to the dating world because they don't want to deal with what they were often exposed to. They want something different, they want something new. Everyone uses these reasons. And your prototypical pro black is against it because they don't understand that sometimes things happen to people. Terrell Owens, I mean, a motherfucker, Terrell Owens is a fucking waterworks factory. No, he didn't have his father in his life, and his father was super close to him, like stayed with. I think didn't they say his father stayed across the street or some shit like that? Stayed down the street or somewhere like on the same street and never saw his son. That's the kind of thing that they don't. That a lot of these women don't tell the truth to the kids. I always say go find your father and get the truth. Since you hate men so much, since you lack that, since a lot of folks lack that leadership in their lives, the leadership that was supposed to come from a father, because your mother didn't want to tell you the truth about it. So Terrell Owens is a very emotional man, from what I could see, especially when he was playing for the Cowboys. You were crying over goddamn Tony Romo and shit. That's my that's my quarterback. That's my team. You know, I don't know if y'all remember that. But my thing is like date who you want to date, man. I mean, famous black men when they are seen with white women are always gonna uh, they're always gonna be questioned repeatedly. I'm sure Terrell Owens didn't volunteer that information. I mean, I don't think the conversation. Oh yeah, by the way, black women tease me very viciously, and that's why I date white women. Scott. Women that like you, women like that fuck you, not the other way around. Walker TV, what's good? Greg, what's going on? Just going through this chat, getting caught up. For those of you who don't watch me on a regular basis, I usually do that. I'll get into one tangent and then the chat, I have to catch up. It's like if you want to know what they're talking about when I flash some comments, just rewind the broadcast a little bit. I've never heard of Scarlett narratives. Oh, he's talking to coffee. Scarlett. Yeah, she kind of went, the internet. She went viral because I believe Cardi B shared one of her videos, and she kind of capitalized off that momentum a little bit. Alonzo Hall, the All-Star advisor. There's even a worse stigma when people assume you're into white girls. I get that all the time when I'm out while prospecting, selling. Yeah, you know why? Because you know how to say a complete sentence with good diction in your voice. They think those kind of guys are reserved for white women. When in fact, most black men that are in heterosexual relationships and marriages are with black women. We're always, as black men, are going to get scrutinized for the pettiest bullshit. Hey, it's what defines us is how we deal with that shit. Uh, Show up for motion capture and digitization development next time. Oh, okay. Public figures who date white people in general need to know why they are dating them, and it should not be to say, "Look what I got," and as they walk past, it's like they are ashamed of it. Man, because they and I'm just saying, man, I've seen it. You face a challenge when you're out amongst blacks, man. You get dirty looks, and then you go to her side of town, and you get dirty looks too. Yeah, it's nowhere to. It's but it seems as if it's like when it's a black woman, they are more welcoming. We are more welcoming as a people. Black women get to navigate in and out of the community however they want. Black men can't. That's one thing we can't do, and that is because we lack the leadership. We lack the assertiveness. Now, this manosphere thing or whatever we're doing right now, this is something recent. People act like it's been around for years and it's just tearing the black community apart because they're fucking sensitive. Shoot. So because of the lack of black male leadership down to the most bare of levels, because there has always been some form of black male leadership, whether it's a pseudo leadership, like what I would say pseudo leadership is like what Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and who is that mayor of Chicago right now? Like guys like that, what they offer to real leadership, like the guys who died for it. I hate black pepper. I hate my gums because they black. Even the back of Wesley Snipes' neck. I haven't dated a lot of them, but I've banged a bunch. Shoot. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's some amazing thing to date somebody. Cause I say that to the alphabet folks. You want a cookie for fucking someone? Like seriously? And what I'm about to show you some slides of people who want a cookie for fucking somebody. Becky sex is highly overrated. Let me tell you something. Back in my day, like I'm saying shit like back in my day. Oh God. Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. And this is something that I shouldn't be sharing with you guys because I'm trying to stay respectful to my union before God with my wife. But the best that I've ever received. And white girls are known for, top. They're known for that brain. But I would say that that was probably the second best I've ever received. The best I've ever received would come from black girls. I'll say that. So, oh, that wasn't too good, but cartel. I've dated white women. And I don't see nothing wrong with it, but I always dated black women too. So people need to move on and mind their own business. I mean, yeah, but we just don't get that luxury as black men. We don't. We don't. I mean, so I don't think it helps that I tell people that I'm married to a black woman. I don't use it as some type of signal. Like I gotta prove to the unmarried bitch that got 3 kids by 3 different dads that I'm married to a black woman just because she's not married, or I'm never gonna marry a bitch like that who is that concerned with that kind of thing because she feels bad about what she hasn't gained. And then you got all these simp lords out here. I'll make you feel good on the internet. Damn those niggers. Yeah, niggas ain't shit. Yeah, niggas ain't shit. Yay. You know, give me that validation, baby mama. Raven Knight said, I love black and white box. Fuck everyone, deal with it. B dubs give us way too many reasons to bounce, experts at being left. Somebody might take exception to that and call us an anti black woman space again. Dennis Rodman said the same thing. He's close to being a billionaire now. Said Dennis Rodman said the same thing. Raven Knight, remember we had great dialogue on DJ Coot. Man, shout out to DJ Coot. The whole thing about T.O. is not one today. B does might have been leaked information. I mean, it always that kind of shit always starts with a question though. Like they asked Donald Glover, and then it got all over the internet, and everybody started acting butthurt because he made "This Is America." It's like, what the fuck he had? Like, what the fuck? Like, does him fucking a white woman have anything to do with talking about the struggles of Black America? I mean, I wouldn't have moved around like that with my shirt off or anything, but I understood the message of the song. Shoot, shoot. I mean, he employed 2 black women, Mo and Keita. It was on his reality show. Duh, can a nigga ever do enough? The biggest difference between white women and black women is that white women know how to bring more money to black men, and black women know how to spend it. To take God damn, that's pretty fucked up. I wouldn't know though. I'm never in a relationship with a white woman. And who was that said that earlier? I think it was Alonzo Hall. He was like, they like how they think that you are gonna just date a white girl. Like, I had a friend that actually said that he thought that I was gonna end up marrying a white woman. And you know why? Because I can say complete sentences and use good diction. Not all the time, but times where it matters. Black man reading, playing in the snow. Any modicum of intelligence from a black man means that he wants to be white. And you know what? For people who have that mentality, they're the ones that, you know, believe that whiteness is superior. They want to give whiteness all the good shit and give us all the bad as black folks. as if creating some type of framing that the only thing that is exciting to black people is goofball entertainment shit and criminality. Although I believe YouTube is an entertainment platform. And Tober said you're supposed to say "yeah, I mean" and curse every two syllables to be for. Yeah, yeah, man. Some people think that like nice, level-headed black man is an oxymoron, and there has to be something wrong with you if you don't go around with pants sagging and keeping up with the latest trap rapper or some shit like that. I think I pretty much stopped at Jeezy, and then it just got out of control from there. Scarlet, you can, you just gotta have fuck you money. Oh, okay. Marcus Robeson, what's good? Black men are shamed for dating out, whereas white men and Zaddy are praised for dating. Yeah, because the departed one said, and this is one thing that holds true because I've been in workplaces and I've seen this. That white men get praised for shit that black men get criticized and called whack for. We always talk about education in this community to where we got this narrative that the women are the most educated while the men are educated lames, and they always try to add these this caveat to the educated lame narrative, and they treat it as if um, all of a sudden a black man is entitled because he has a degree, and he thinks he's entitled to getting a good woman. And people use this wording and this framing like, oh, these niggas always want these women that they're not qualified for. What qualifies a black man to be with these old scallywags out here? Like seriously. And I'm not saying all of them are scallywags, but nobody ever thinks about the view how the educated white man is viewed by black folks. Like he's this golden god. Like if he says a complete sentence, it's like, ooh, wow. Like whether it's like if a white content creator walked up on some of these black man panels, the black man would be just blown the fuck away. Just ready to praise and pray to the guy. And I'm not gonna mention that other. And all these old anti-manosphere goofs. Y'all let her into space. But that's a little problem that we have as a people across the board, though. How we exalt them for the same things that when we do is seen as somehow not black. You guys are stupid. This is why you got these dudes around here talking about, oh man, I'm a man, shit, I don't do race. Yeah, think, okay, cool guy, okay, help cat. Man, so how the fuck you gonna put a heifer on TV with green pus coming out the top of her lip? I ain't sugarcoating a thing during this week of fuckery. Who launched this Satan to? Yeah, and just make sure you're here tomorrow night, Raven Night. I'm not saying that you don't have other plans, and I'm not gonna ever disrespect anyone and tell them, hey, fuck your plans. Be at the smoke show Sundays tomorrow night. I don't know, but I'm just telling everybody just to be there. I gotta promote my shit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta promote it. Hey, Fatherless households is a cycle. Yeah, he's continuing from something that he said. Okay. There's some reality to the money thing. It's assumed that white women are more able to not fumble the finances because it comes from in their families. Usually not fatherless household continued fatherless households, so it's a cycle. Hmm. Theo got his head in the clouds. Shoot, man, I don't know. It might have been an old boy said there's just a culture of white women that just, I don't know, they feel like they have to bow down to the sexuality of a black man. And then like what I'm saying is for a group of women that's supposed to know us and supposed to be be with us and they're the most loyal like black women, I think that, for I think that a lot of them are on program, but for those of y'all that's sitting out here complaining and shit, you don't code. That's all I gotta say. Shit. All that feeling like you ain't got to compete. I'm not saying you got to compete because I'm out of this game. What I'm saying is, if all you're going to sit up there and do is bitch, then do something about it or shut the fuck up. You know, brothers going to date who, men, period, going to date who we want to date. Chaos Rain, what's good? This is good, black men being brutally honest. We have some great comments in the chat tonight. The brothers are respectfully dialoguing and not arguing. Coffee Nino. Well, I don't know if you're gonna want to be here tomorrow night, but hey, I appreciate it, man. Seriously, appreciate it. Appreciate the compliment. Certain white women can get black men access to areas where black women can't. It is what it is, but that's just raw truth. Eh, No, Raven Knight, that's brutal honesty. Isn't it ironic Stevie Wonder did Ebony and Ivory in a way he did see race according to the song and Paul McCartney because he's blind. Oh man, that's a man. You know what? I've never thought about that. Jesus, all these years, man. That nigga blind. Oh shit. Oh, boy. God damn. Barack and Michelle Obama was an anomaly. Didn't they say Obama was supposed to marry a white woman? He married Michelle as a political move. Well, I said, as a black educated man myself, I do not believe that black educated men should never be called in educated lanes, but he becomes lame when he starts shit on Pookie, another black man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, don't go out here thinking just because you can't you come from a decent background that Pookie's your enemy. Shit, I had sense enough to know that you know Pookie can be an asset sometimes. Shit, I got sense enough to know that. Shoot, cartel. That's what I learned over time. Just raw comparison side by side. It's not only white women, Asians, Latina, Russian, Swedish, German, AA women dead last. They rather break up before the fun starts. Oof. This is what the men believe. This is what the men think. You know, and it's not because they are self haters. It's just because they are expressing what our experiences have been with you women. Shit. I don't think these guys are lying, but let's move on a little bit. You know, he ha ha, he ha 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 ha. Okay, look at that. Look at that. So we want to talk about different experiences. with dealing with them as opposed to like that little girl who gave Chris Brown that smug look when he was getting that award. I forgot who that was. Old chunky face bitch, but she is a person. That particular girl was a person of color. And like I said, they're always gonna try to feel some way about black men because we're just the most unforgivable group of people ever, except to certain others individuals. Like this is Kanye West and Taylor Swift right here. The same Taylor Swift that's dating Travis Kelsey, which he was gonna get brought up anyway a little later on. It's like she seemingly is cool with Kanye after he upstaged her all those years ago. Beyonce, you got the greatest album of all time. And everybody, black folks, were just like so pissed off. Ugh. Oh, how can you do that to Taylor Swift? Give a fuck? I mean, I truly did not give a fuck. I didn't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry to whoever's listening. Not sorry. I didn't care. I like Kanye. You a wild one for this shit. I was like that. Shoot. But the point that I'm trying to make is she forgave him, a white woman, a devil supposedly. 'Cause I remember in the '90s, all we did was call them white devils. That shit probably wouldn't fly today. They'll find some social justice way out of it. Yeah, she seems to be pretty cool with Kanye West at this point. Some people probably say it's because of their conservative views. They like Trump or some shit like that. But he upstaged her on one of the biggest nights of her life, and they're still able to keep it cool in public. All I'm saying is this: when I see stuff like this, I think it should be a sister. That's all I'm saying. They didn't like a lot of sisters didn't like Kim Kardashian until she divorced Kanye West and started fucking Pete Davidson because they exalting white boys. And, I mean, I'm just trying to tell black men, hey, look, it's like why you sitting up here trying to convince them to do better? Here's what they think about you. But hey, you can't have the good without the bad. So let's get to it. I mean, okay, this slide. No. Oh yeah, that's Terrell Owens again. Terrell Owens said he prefers white women because black women used to call him ugly. Okay, so yeah, let's just recap this real quick before I get to the other slides. Yeah, biggest people complaining about colorists, complaining about weight shaming, fat shaming, body shaming, will say the ugliest things to black men. And we as black men are expected to be tough and to deal with that shit and to take it on the chin. And I don't see anything wrong with having that mentality. But I understand that everyone isn't me. You call me ugly, I call you ugly back. I probably call you something worse. I say you don't want to look like a gremlin in the sun. I say shit like that, and people are just like they'll think, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" You know. But some people they're hurt by that kind of thing. That's the thing that I was reading a post on Lil Kim. I just let the conversation happen. I'm like, I am not finna interject. I am not arguing with stupid big bitches with horrible attitudes that don't understand why. Because they were blaming black men for Lil Kim. I said, just go ahead. Men, uh, men told Lil Kim that she was too dark and she didn't look good enough. And then another girl's like, what kind of men? And then the other girl was like, black men. I knew it. No evidence whatsoever of this. That black men were the reason that Lil Kim did all that surgery and and dyed her skin lighter. In fact, I don't even believe that shit. Somebody please show me the fucking evidence that Lil Kim, because of black men, decided to change the way she looked. Fuck out of here. If there's other shit going on with Lil Kim besides that, but it affects different black folks in different ways. And Terrell Owens decided, I'm saying, I'm just gonna kick it with other races of female, and he just opened himself to it. It ain't like he doesn't date black women. He date black women. He just date white women too. He dates the spectrum, just like Michael B. Jordan. Shoot. But in recapping this, where's that slide? There we go. This happened this week. Jodie Turner Smith files for divorce from her husband Joshua Jackson after more than 3 years of marriage. Miss Queen and Slim herself. In Charlie from the Mighty Ducks. I think he was also on Dawson's Creek. That's a show I never watched. I just knew these things. Yeah. We always have to hear that. Oh, the marriages last longer when it's a white man and a black woman, and just I'm not poking fun at you girls though. I'm not making this a colorist thing. It's just that Jodie Turner Smith, I think, has expressed. I mean, what has she done besides Queen and Slim? She's expressed issues with people talking about her skin color to the point where I guess she had to marry a white man. And the way, from the little bit I seen of Queen and Slim, she, I guess I have to go back and watch it, but I haven't watched Queen and Slim yet, so I really can't comment on what kind of movie it was. But one clip that I saw, she was belittling the hell out of old boy. Seemed like it come from a very real place. So I'm just gonna have that image up there. I mean, this shit. This shit was talked about by people, and of course, you had dudes that was using this. That's y'all zaddy. That's y'all zaddy. Use this as their little instrument of ammo in the so-called quote unquote gender war. I don't know. When I see stuff like this, I just laugh. You know, because these people, these are the kind of people that will volunteer the info instead of you asking them about it. Jodie Turner Smith is probably someone who volunteers the shit. I think I've read a couple of interviews that were involving her, and she sounded strange. But they're getting divorced due to irreconcilable differences because unlike black men, white men don't put up with that shit. Very few black men don't put up that shit either. You know, I've seen it firsthand. For real. Like the two white guys I used to hang out with, like that, they had good weed, but this was back in like I guess turn of the century kind of deal. From like '99 to like 2002. I hung out with them because they had good weed. Both of them were video game rivals, so they would, man. They would have bad arguments with their women, bad arguments, like "fuck you," won't you shut the fuck up and go in the room? And I'm sitting up there wondering where they're getting this thing from, where they're saying that, that they feel as if they get treated so much better by them than by us. And when they date us, they go after the kind of toxic types. It ain't got to be a pookie or anything. It's just a guy that is generally lives his life as a bad idea. Shoot. So I don't know where they're getting that from. White guys you just shout they women down, and in some cases beat they women. Shoot. So I don't know what's going on at the Hollywood level with this. Like they portray these guys as being extra nice, but from what I've seen, the white boys ain't no, they're no spring chickens when it comes to relationships and marriages. Shit, they give it to their women just like those black guys supposedly give it to ours. At least that's what's being claimed. But every black man, black man, black woman couple I've seen, a lot of these men be some yes ma'am ass niggas. Yes ma'am. Shit. Hmm. Who else? 'Cause, it was four couples they were picking at. Now I got to be careful with this one. I got a couple family members that are tied to the Braxtons. No, no lie. But the way she's presented herself publicly, a loud mouth with an attitude, she thought that was gonna work. That she was gonna get all in her femininity with this one, and she probably tried because like her man before that one was a black guy, and of course she was married to Vince Herbert, that big motherfucker. But like the last black man she dated, it came out that she was problematic in her relationship, and she even admits it herself that she was the reason why it failed because she's loudmouth and obnoxious. She can sing, but like I said, them white boys don't put up with that shit. They don't. They don't. I've seen it firsthand. Shoot, even they daughters. You're not going out tonight. Daddy, I hate you. Go in your goddamn room. I don't want to hear that shit. Shoot, I don't know what the fuck these people be talking about on the internet. I just don't. Ugh. Oh yeah. Now, fellas, hurry up and buy what's good. Michelle Williams dating preacher Chad Johnson. I brought this one up because he's a black. No, he's not black. He's white. What I meant to say was he's a white pastor that appeals to a mostly an African American congregation. Um, I don't remember what Facebook page on. It was a church, and it was a white pastor, and his wife was black. Um, on the Facebook page, it was so many comments from black women. Yes, praise God. Oh my God, I love you guys. And what I began to believe was that this pastor was getting so much ass on the side, it's ridiculous. If you want to go to a divestment haven, you go to a church where a white man is the pastor married to a black woman. Because when I heard that this man has an African American congregation, I doubt that there's any black men in that congregation. I seriously doubt it. I bet you it is a divestment haven. And what black dude is checking for the third member of Destiny's Child anyway? I mean, you can see the evidence in who they're fooling with. Look at who Kelly Rowland is with. Look at who Beyonce is with. Like I was like when she sang her solo on "Cater to You," I wondered why. I mean, of course they were gonna let Michelle have some shine at some point, but that needed to be Kelly Rowland. That did not need to be Michelle. Remember that song "Cater to You" by Destiny's Child, and Michelle had that solo. She can sing. Bad hombre. What's good? Hey, I'm gonna go on about 11 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. I want you to be there. I'm not gonna let anyone on the panel for like 30 or 40 minutes. I have some shit I got to handle. But anyway, back to the show. Bad. Oh, how long was I muted? Shit. Oh God. Some people left because I muted. Kevin's gone. Can y'all hear me now? I'm sure you can. Okay. All right. So who is Kelly Rowland with? This is a guy. Let me share the screen. Let me show you. I was muted for a while. Oh fuck. Sorry about that. 20 seconds. Chaos Rain says 3 minutes. God damn, that's the difference. But muted for almost 2 minutes. Oh fuck. Oh man, I better not do that tomorrow night. All right. Let me share the screen. Show y'all who Kelly Rowland is married to. Shoot. Oh man. Okay. Kelly Rowland is married to this guy, Tim Weatherspoon. Clearly a black guy. We all know who Jay Z and Beyonce. You know, we already know about them. But Michelle, She's the she's the can't get right of the group. So Black Love wins, I guess. I mean, I know some of y'all don't like those two words being put together, but yeah, shit. He is he has a reason to have a smile on his face in some of these pictures. Yep. Ray Hummer was good. Man, it's 2011 man. Funny part about that is when looked at their profile pictures of mainly black women and preferably washing out blackness of the comment section, yet Umar Johnson is saying nothing about it. He's not gonna say anything about it. He's one of them fearful black men. Shoot. Shout out to Holly Robinson Pete for submitting to a black man. Yeah, you don't hear shit out of her. All you hear out of her is I'm a married woman. That's all you hear. Well, what happened with Kelly and her dude? I mean, I guess they still together. Shoot. Let me put this back up. Oh, wait a minute. Put this back up. Kelly's fine ass. We still here. I told you, the realest. You the realest. Shoot. I think that's the last slide. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Saying it's like this whole interracial thing ain't magical. It's something. Oh, look. Black love fails again. At least I think she's black. Damian Lillard filed for divorce from his wife and mother of three children. Good lord. A lot of people probably see this as a bad thing. I mean, I just think it's a fucking usual. But yeah, they're breaking up a family. I mean, you can look at the couple aspect about it, or you can look at the fact that the kids are not gonna have a whole family anymore. Bad black gamer. I always thought Kelly was the best looking of Destiny's Child. Yeah, yeah. How Umar Johnson could be fearful man when he don't ever correct divestors saying misinformation about slavery in GG. He doesn't, man. He panders. He thinks that he has the machismo as a man to influence them to come back to blackness. Meanwhile, castigating brothers for our experiences. All that pandering shit. That Michelle husband looking like I done told you. Let's look at that picture again. So I done told you. Yeah, they never actually got married. That was her fiance. Uh, they got back together for a little while, and basically he probably like he probably used her personality, like her popularity, or the fact that she was a member of Destiny's Child to grow his congregation. 'Cause once one of them would have it, ooh, he got he got he got what's the name from Destiny's Child? Oh, go white boy, go white boy, go white boy. That man church probably grew like a motherfucker. When the man files for divorce, you know it's some serious shit going on. Yeah, yeah. Cause men don't leave. It's always the woman. If the man leaves, yeah, that's some. I'm really sick and tired of your fucking ass type of shit. Yeah, but Detroit 313, yeah, man. Them divestment churches, them some sad spaces, bro. Oh, oh yeah, I got one more slide. Oop, Memories. Yep. Now you got brothers throwing it in sisters' faces. You know what? What I'm probably seeing as and throwing it in sisters' faces too. But like I said, is a certain level of bullshit that I would have to say men in general do not put up with. I have to say that, but it seems as if black men, not Damian Lillard, obviously, are slow to pull the trigger. And I'm not talking about a gun either. So don't misinterpret that. What I'm talking about is the fact that we as black men, we let so much shit slide and it's gotten to the point where it is beyond our control. And you see a lot of that shit inside of these simps. Like, bruh, like I keep telling black men, there is no fucking need to give up your position in any way, shape, or form to any of these broads. You seeing the results of this shit play out today. But yet and still, niggas is upset because hoes is mad. Shoot. And the reason why I flash those examples up there because I'm showing you that other motherfuckers ain't putting up with this shit. So you, you understand that you're not crazy. You're not crazy at all. You're not just on some self hate shit. And I'm not saying this is all couples, all interracial couples, because I'm sure there are some ones that are just living in peace right now and not worried about what me people like me think and believe, and that's okay with me. That is okay with me. Solange, Solange, fire. What you like Solange? Now Solange is talented from listening to her music. But this might be mean what I'm about to say, but she do look like a discount version of Beyonce. It's like Beyonce from Bloomingdale's versus Beyonce from Walmart. You get Solange. Like Solange is that we got McDonald's at home type. I mean, she was kicking Jay Z like Chun Li in that elevator. Though, like damn, I was like damn. When I first saw that shit, I was like, Solange played Street Fighter. But the thing is, we joke about stuff like that, but shit, when females hit men and kick men, and Jay Z, he couldn't do shit because his public image would have been totally destroyed if he grabbed her foot. And then this is a guy who face palmed a woman on a video a few years earlier than that. I don't know y'all remember that face palm video. I remember it vividly. That's when he was still hanging out with Beans and Meek Mill. Shit, he probably was still hanging with Jazzo still in that day. Man said Solange face can morph into Killmonger army. Vested churches are dangerous as far as I can tell. Yeah, shit. I mean, more dangerous than that Westboro Baptist church that we hear about all the time. Really racist church. Cartel Solange music is dope. I mean, yeah, yeah. Like I said, she's very talented. She just lives in the extreme shadow of her sister Beyonce, and it's like that is a big fucking shadow. A big one. Travis X was a walking liability. B Dubs can't just keep their mouth shut, always trying to be in the mix. Yeah, yeah, she was the one that was talking about some, get your mammy to cook for you. Criticizing the other's positions on what kind of women they would like to end up with, and then find out she wasn't even getting no money from this man. Like money is supposed to be the central thing. Said that Versace suit he has on is killer. That is replica they bought back out from the late '80s to mid '90s with the print shirt. Okay. I mean, shit. When you're worth $40 million, you can do that shit. You can get replica suits they don't make anymore. Detroit 313. Yeah, I watched it. I watched a premium live event tonight on Peacock. Yes, I saw Carlito come back and help Rey Mysterio. Yeah. Carlito's 44 years old and he's in pretty decent shape. You know, he pretty much became a gym rat after his first stint in WWE. He just the reason why he had like left WWE in the first place because he just lacked the maturity. I guess now I mean, he's a nostalgia piece, and he got some love tonight when he came out. People remember Carlito. So, and my deceased homeboy, it was one of his favorite wrestlers. I mean, he had the Carlito shirt that had the smug face on it with the apple with the bite out of it, like the yellow Carlito shirt. He always wore that motherfucker. Fastlane best spot was Jade Cargill in that extremely revealing outfit tonight. Take my money, Philadelphia WrestleMania. Here I come. And Nia Jax is back. Yeah, Jade Cargill. Uh, my immediate dream match for her is her and Bianca Belair. That's my immediate dream match for the both of them. It's like both of them strong as fuck. Like yeah, so if Jay, from what I hear about Jade Cargill's in-ring performance level, I hear it needs a lot of improvement. But she is definitely an attraction. She's definitely an attraction. That man said I might let Nia Jax sit on me. I wonder what happened to Primo, cousin of Carlito. No, Primo is his brother. Epico is his cousin. Primo and Epico, I mean, they made a good tag team, but they really didn't push them guys enough as a threat in the tag team division. I would say so. They were eventually let go because they were just some guys that were better for the job. Shoot, I mean, you have the New Day back then when they were when Kofi tagging up with Xavier back then, and I mean you had the Usos back then too, which I mean they were twin brothers. And they're Samoan, so Samoans always got a place in wrestling. Jade Cargill, like I didn't really even watch Jade Cargill when she was in AEW. I mean, I thought the baddies that the two black girls she had with her, I thought they were better wrestlers than her from what I seen. But Jade Cargill, she's a unique individual, I would say. Oh yeah, they had the Shield back then too. Like wasn't nobody really fucking with the Shield. I mean, that last man standing match was pretty good tonight between him and Shinsuke. There's another one coming to WWE from AEW, and she too is a big draw. You read it here first. I keep it close to my chest for a while. And yeah, and as soon as it happens, I'm gonna call it out. Yeah, it's yeah. Let me tell y'all something, man. It's funny. Like Swerve Strickland, like his manager. I mean, I don't even watch AEW, man. Yeah, I done got too far off subject. People are kind of leaving the chat now. I guess poking fun at divestors is a lot more interesting. But the fuck out of here. Not fuck out of here. I appreciate anybody that watches, but hey, it is what it is, guys. Blu-ray said, "Well, I wasn't into Carlito myself." I mean, yeah, Carlito was alright, man. He was. I mean, I think he beat John Cena on his first match. Like I think he beat him for the United States belt actually. Shoot, shoot. I remember Dean Ambrose beat The Undertaker on an episode of SmackDown. I remember when Maven eliminated The Undertaker from the Royal Rumble. I remember that. Yeah. Jimmy looking like he auditioned for the Fifth Element remake. Yeah, Chris Tucker, like for me, he was dressed real funny and he was trying to pull a Andre 3000 when he was in the Fifth Element. But what happened in the movie was he was like an extreme heterosexual. Like when the shit was taken off, he had this girl and like he was fucking this girl in one of the closets. Yeah, but you know what though? I'm kind of mad with Chris Tucker, like for never reprising his role in Friday. Like it's just like that's the one that brought you to the dance, bruh. But he had his reasons. I mean, said Hybrid said he wished Scott Steiner would come back. Man, for what? Like his nephew is about to be a fucking beast though. Braun Breaker, he's in NXT right now. Like NXT is they're gonna have a lot of main roster superstars on there Tuesday. They're gonna have Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is the son of Rick Steiner, one of the Steiner brothers. So Paul Heyman is gonna be in his corner, and John Cena is gonna be in Carmelo Hayes' corner. Cause they supposed to be like going like they doing some stuff for NXT because they supposed to be going head to head with AEW. I mean, NXT is their smaller show, so I don't blame them for wanting to put a little star power, pad their show. Yeah, Breaker is the future. That man is world championship material, you know. But that depends on how long they want to keep the belt on Roman Reigns, though. Or they probably gonna make the world championship the belt that people's gonna be fighting over because Reigns probably gonna be champion for another 2 or 3 years. I don't know if he's gonna lose it at WrestleMania. I'll be shocked if Roman Reigns loses the belt at WrestleMania next year. Maven has a YouTube channel now. Yeah, I've checked out Maven's YouTube channel. I wasn't real huge on Maven. Like, in fact, the last match that I saw him in was with Batista. And Batista is stiff. He's not very good. But that match between him and Maven was funny because he beat the fuck out of Maven. The AEW versus NXT are in competition. Yeah. I mean, AEW just started out. I mean, it's big. It, AEW grew bigger than uh Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling had been around since 2000, and they looked like they were going to be competitors for WWE, but it's like they dropped the ball somewhere. And like Impact Wrestling is still around. I mean, that's where AJ Styles, Samoa Joe came from. They're still around, but I mean, and they still got people that wrestled back when they first started out, still in that company, like loyalists. But I mean, when AEW came into the picture, uh, it had the support of a billionaire already. So they just like took the fuck off. Like Cody Rhodes and I think Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega started it, and then Chris Jericho went over there and just carried it to the next level. So they even had Tori Wilson in her prime. Oh yeah, there's a competition, and but there's also an alliance because so many guys like they know each other because a lot of AEW talent they were people who got fired from WWE. They either got fired or WWE really had nothing left for them, so they just like Edge let his contract run out, and it just really was hard for me to picture Edge anywhere else besides WWE. He's one of those guys that's just like Sting, always stayed with a company, and then all of a sudden just go to another company out of nowhere. So it was like really at the end of the day, the wrestling fans are the ones that win when you got all this stuff going on. If you got two good wrestling companies and really three that's been around, which one that's been around for a while, I mean, shit, the winners are the fans. They get to watch their favorite wrestlers forever, no matter what company they're working for. Yeah, if Shane McMahon almost bought AEW, oh man, that would have been bad. Cause what Shane McMahon is worse than Vince McMahon when it comes to creative control. Vince screwed over a lot of wrestlers and screwed over a lot of storylines. And Patrice O'Neal was right. The WWE environment is like a cultist environment. You got to go along to get along. I don't know if y'all knew this, and I've said it before. Patrice O'Neal used to write for the WWE. So Vince, you had to do what Vince told you to do, or you could got the fuck out. Shoot, Shane McMahon is worse. Shane McMahon ruined the pay per view. I mean, it was like a couple years. He ruined the Royal Rumble about 3 years ago, trying to make all these creative changes to the show, and he had like just about every wrestler lost in their matches. And Vince McMahon said Shane will never work for this company as long as I'm alive. And they actually talked about bringing Shane back a couple times, but they're just like, nah, they changed their minds. What about Ring of Honor? Ring of Honor, AEW bought Ring of Honor. Yeah, so AEW, Ring of Honor is a product of AEW now. You're never going to beat Big Daddy Vance. Okay, I'm sure you meant Vince. Understand that in order to be like Vince McMahon is one of the coldest businessmen in history. Seriously, the coldest. Like y'all be like, oh, WWE is fake. I mean, that motherfucker is worth almost $10 billion now because of WWE. I think he's worth like 9.4 billion ever since the merger with TKO. Batista's good, but got shot down by Goldberg and the Undertaker. But he beats full time monsters like the Great Khali and Mark Henry. Yeah, I got annoyed by Goldberg after a while. Now Goldberg was the man when he was in WCW, and they kind of did him wrong his first stint in WWE. Like, but his second stint, the way he came back and beat the Fiend, the way he came back and beat Brock like that was like, man, come the fuck on now. It's Goldberg. Goldberg is one of, like I'm sure he's on like a bunch of people's all-time favorite list. Mark Henry should have always like when they did the Hall of Pain. Mark Henry, that was pretty good for Mark Henry. That I think that was his best run. That's when he was going around saying, "That's what I do." I mean, hurting motherfuckers. Like he's the world's strongest man, and he while he was in WWE, he was still setting records. He was a pure athlete. Vince McMahon Sr. had a reputation for being a great businessman and paying everyone. Yeah, he also what he did. Son is Hot Rod was good. He also like he stayed away from the territories, trying to like when he died and his son took over. His son, like Vince McMahon, he didn't have any loyalty to the territory. So he said he wanted to be the biggest and the best. So what he did was he threw around quite a bit of money to get the best wrestlers from the territories in it. And he buried the territories in doing that. There was a territory that used to come through my home city called Continental Wrestling. Shoot, Yokozuna passed through there. Like he was like like part of the Samoan SWAT team. He was named Kokina. But then when he debuted in WWE, because I noticed how good he was. Because I noticed how good he was in Continental Wrestling. I was like, damn, this motherfucker ain't playing. Shoot. As a kid, this motherfucker ain't playing. Kokina would go to the WWE to become Yokozuna. So Vince was always doing that shit. Vince was always pulling the best wrestlers out of, smaller companies to come work for big time, as they said. WCW was doing that shit too, but not as bad as Vince was. Ring of Honor is opportunity for wrestler in Denver, Colorado. Oh, okay. What a little subset of Ring of Honor. Vince likes his wrestlers jacked and swole. Yep. Yeah, that's why you got a lot of these old steroid scandals that tied to the WWE. Well, when it was the WWF and the U.S. government went after Vince McMahon for that shit, but he beat the U.S. government. I guess when you have enough money, you can do that. You don't really beat the U.S. government, but Goldberg was best telemarketer in WCW going against WWE along Stone Cold Steve Austin. I would disagree because once Stone Cold Steve Austin rose, WCW fell. And Goldberg wasn't enough to hold that up. Shoot, it's almost time to go. Stone Cold is the best wrestler of the world when he got the biggest pops. Yeah, he did. I mean, much as I hate to say it, Hulk Hogan made wrestling what it is today with his presence. Goldberg, well, not Goldberg. Goldberg was he was a once in a generation athlete. Stone Cold, The Rock. I mean, they carried after Hogan. It was like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, but Stone Cold and The Rock took it to a whole new level. And let me see in WCW. I mean, well, who was it? It was Hulk Hogan and Sting and Goldberg. My watch ended with Mark, aka Undertaker, retired. He looked dead at me in serious tears. Oh, okay. Shout out to the Blue Blazer, aka Owen Hart. Man, if if it wasn't for that character, Owen Hart would be alive today. 'Cause they were gonna have the the Blue Blazer descend from the fucking ceiling. Owen Hart ended up pulling the wrong cord and he free fell to the ring. And when he hit, his head hit the top turnbuckle and it killed him instantly. They even said he might have died before he hit the ground because he was in such shock he had a heart attack on the way down. Yeah, like I remember I was working like when he died. I was working that night, and I came home. They said wrestler died at a pay per view. It was on CNN, and then I was wondering who it was immediately, and then like they just flashed on the screen that it was Owen Hart. Yeah, I watched that pay per view on YouTube years later. I found it on YouTube. It was one of the most surreal things that I'd ever seen. How everybody was just so heartbroken that one of their coworkers just passed away at an event, and then they wouldn't stop the event. Like Owen Hart's wife forever hates the WWE and Vince McMahon for continuing that event forever. She hates them so much she's appeared on AEW. You saw it live. God damn. And they continued the pay per view. Yeah, that was a really questionable decision. I do see Hulk Hogan got the biggest pops as the Ultimate Warrior has. Yeah, like, well, we were so naive back then. We thought a lot of us thought that wrestling was real. Uh, I mean, Hulk Hogan, like, man, when I saw Hulk Hogan in Japan in his prime, and then I compared it to the wrestling we saw in America, Vince McMahon really cheated us out of a beast of a damn wrestler. Hulk Hogan was a fucking beast in the ring. He just didn't show it when he was on WWF television. Like that shit, like I'm like, damn, I was like, I feel cheated. But fuck him anyway with his racist ass. The Ultimate Warrior, they said the thing that was wrong with him was he would run down to the ring with all that intensity, but be out of breath by the time he starts the match. Like, why are you running, man? Jog to the ring or something. Like that man run to the ring full speed, run around the ring, get in the ring, shake the ropes, start running around the ring, and start like waving his flailing his arms, and like dude was exhausted. His wife tried to sue WWE for wrongful death. WWF for wrongful death. Yes, sir. A very, very bad night. They couldn't tell everyone to go home. The show must go on. I'd have told everyone to go home. Like it's a principle thing, and that pay per view, like I said, the mood took a dive. The mood took a complete dive. Like even Undertaker came out there. Oh yeah, yeah. You said that Undertaker looked like Raven Knight. He made this comment. I watched it ended when Mark, aka the Undertaker, retired. Oh, when he retired. Oh, okay. But yeah, when the Undertaker came to the ring, he was looking sad that night on the pay per view. It's the way it is. It's business. You couldn't can't just cancel a pay per view. I guess y'all forgot about those WCW nights where they pulled the broadcasting plug on purpose, and cable companies had to do refunds on those pay per views. Yeah, yeah, capitalism is a very cruel and heartless place. But I do remember back then that Eric Bischoff, who was very in, he was like he was a very fucked up competitor for the WWF back then. I say WWF, WWE, they're the same thing. Um, he used to give away results of tape raw shows on live nitros, which was a dirty fucking tactic. But it did win the respect of Vince McMahon. Eric Bischoff, who was deep in WCW doing that shit, he even defended the decision to keep the pay per view going. He defended the decision. Just like how you're explaining it, Raven Knight, he explained it somewhat like that. Man, so I kind of like that Ultimate Warrior. We all did when we were younger. We loved that Ultimate Warrior coming out there and shaking the ropes and shit. We couldn't see that the man was out of breath. We were just like, "Oh shit, it's the Ultimate Warrior." I remember that crazy motherfucker New Jack who threw that fat white wrestler from the rafters after he tased the shit out of New Jack used to go to jail for that shit, man, for beating them boys up like that. That was a serious multi-million dollar cable event. You can't stop it. Big, big money. And I think cable companies had to shell out 8 million in refunds. They were mad as fuck. Yeah. Anyway, it's been 2.5 hours. I think I talked to y'all enough about this week in Effery. Thanks for those of you who watched, and let me look at the likes and dislikes and see if we. Oh shit! I got two dislikes. I guess I know who they are too, but we'll get more into that tomorrow night. So let me go ahead and do this.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
Yeah, yeah, two dislikes. Like I said, I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious of who those dislikes are. Oh yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of shoot interviews and shit like that. I mean, they even got this infamous tape about wrestlers acting up in WCW. They was all on the tape doing drugs. I mean, acting all weird and shit. Acting like man children. I'm talking about Sting, Lex Luger, the Road Warriors. Like them dudes, like they acted like teenagers on the road. They acted like teenagers backstage. They were the crudest guys. Like they said that dude Adonis, Adrian Adonis used to like wipe like he used to wipe shit under his armpits, and like whenever he got mad with the guy that he was gonna wrestle, and he would put him in the headlock, and they would immediately smell that shit. Like they was some crazy motherfuckers. I'm sure that kind of shit that doesn't go on today, but that man said they got Teddy Long talking about Ric Flair was being Ric Flair. And get the fuck out of here, man. Probably said there's a few N words, like they were yeah, they were also very N word heavy back then. Like in backstage, Iron Sheik would call you a nigga in a heartbeat, but they were tough guys. Like people like wrestling fake, but them guys were true to life tough guys. There was a bunch of them guys that you probably did not want to fuck with, and Yokozuna was one of them. The Undertaker was another one. Shoot, but anyway, I'm finna get out of here, guys. Just like I said, enjoy coming to you once again. Um, LOL, you come to my channel so we can chit chat when it's right. Sorry, guys, again. Yeah, and Raven Knight just said that for the for the replay gang. I do read your comments. And D Scott said, "Man, I need to get back into wrestling. The last I watched was right around '01. Went to the Navy." Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you've been out of that. You've been out of the game for a while. I mean, I wonder, do you even like remember WrestleMania X7, like which is like regarded as like the greatest WrestleMania of all time? Raven Knight, that's illegal today. Hazing is bad. Yeah, they had a big hazing problem back then. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They said they said Andre was kind of a backstage bully, but there were two people that really made him afraid. One of those people was Haku. I don't know if y'all remember Haku. Like he was King Haku back in the days of the WWF. He was he was Ming in the Faces of Fear. Uh, yeah, those are the only like him and Bad News Brown were like the only two people to ever scare Andre the Giant. Like Andre the Giant didn't play that shit with anybody, but them two he would not fuck with. Period. Rikishi, yeah, Rikishi Samoan too. One of them fearless Samoans. Yeah, there was a group of wrestlers called the Bone Street Crew that used to go and hang out, and basically they clicked up and nobody would fuck with them. And let me see, it was Yokozuna, The Undertaker, Rikishi. Let me look up Bone Street Crew. Then I'm gonna get out of here. Bone Street Crew. Yeah, who are the members of the Bone Street Crew? Crush, Henry Godwin, the team, the Godwins, they were also in the Bone Street Crew. Mr. Fuji, Paul Bearer, the Godfather, climb aboard the whole train. I mean, that motherfucker was getting away with being a pimp on TV and calling women hoes. Like, that's what he called them, hoes. Savio Vega, The Undertaker, was the co-founder, and Yokozuna was the co-founder as well. Ray Hummer got a link in the chat. You may appreciate this interview, brother Kev. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring that up. Let me hit that link before I get out of here, guys. Like I said, thanks for sticking around, man, and being the realest. But for those of y'all who have y'all ears to the new YouTube streets, yeah. So Um, so you be sure to be here. Okay. So what is this interview? Art of Action, Muhammad Kisi Part Two, Tong Po. Oh, okay. All right, I'll check that out. Is that Scott Atkins? Yeah, Scott Atkins is a yeah. Scott Atkins is the real deal. So I don't get it why Shawn Michaels versus The Rock didn't happen, but I understood why Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels didn't happen. You understand, like the Shawn Michaels and The Rock, why it never happened. I think they don't like each other for real. But that's maybe a conversation for another day. I might just do like a one of these days do like a dedicated wrestling broadcast where we could just sit down and talk about wrestling and other shit that y'all want to talk about. It ain't always got to be community issues here. But anyway, thank you for you guys' continued support of the channel. Thank you for, watching me this Saturday night when, many of you had other choices, but you decided to hang out with me on a Saturday. But like I said, Smoke Show Sundays is tomorrow night. I'm gonna start around 11ish. Man, just quite a bit to say, but it's gonna be business as usual. And you know how I do things around here, but for those of you that are going to be here tomorrow night, I want you to keep in mind the people who have visited this channel before. But more like feud each other when Sean disrespected the Rock's family. Oh shit. Yeah, you don't disrespect a man's family. You definitely don't. But definitely want y'all to tune in tomorrow night. And each time I go live and whenever I start making time to do videos again. Just been a little busy lately, but thanks for hanging with me and through all of this. And all right, this man looked like he about to take off and go fight crime or some shit like that, or He looking like the bitch stole his violin, so he's finna go get into some shit. But Joe Jimmy Butler right here. But anyway, let me go ahead and end this show by saying this the way I began. Long live the habitual line steppers and Kev we trust. And I say this every time: when you don't give up, you shall win. Peace out.